All right, here's another episode here, another installment of the most spiritual, religious podcast out there. Oh, Jesus. I'm Josh Jack with Bee Lion.
Bee Lion, that's me, buddy.
Yep, and I just want to. When's the last time somebody came up to you, B, and started preaching to you about Jesus and giving you pamphlets and all that stuff?
I'm sorry, who was doing that?
I feel like you're not. Are you distracted by something tonight? I feel like you're fumbling around.
No, I'm not distracted. I'm not distracted at all. I'm actually trying to focus here, but sometimes sound is going out for me.
Yeah, well, it's doing the same thing on your side. But I was going to say, when's the last time somebody came up to you and started preaching to you about a religion and like handing you flyers and all that stuff?
Probably, I would say like 5 or 6 years ago. I was like walking through town and there were these two girls with a basket and they're like giving out the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
So I just took it. I pretended I cared, but I don't know. How about you?
Oh, I go to the park, sometimes on the weekend, and there was this guy who used to go there with his wife and his dog, and he was a nice guy, but he would always talk to me about like religion and stuff, like I should go to church and stuff like that, and I would kind of be like, it's not for me and everything, and he would always tell me a story about some quadriplegic lady who gives speeches and stuff. And I actually did a bit about this in my act. I was like, the only reason why she's giving speeches is because she's got nothing to do. I mean, she's paralyzed in a wheelchair. I got stuff to do, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the same guy, I have a story about him. This is years ago. So I was in the park really early on a Saturday, just playing basketball or something, and there was this chick smoking weed. And, he comes over to her. He's like nosing. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing smoking that joint? This is a park for kids." And she's like, "Well, I just want to smoke and stuff." He was like, "Listen, put that out, or I'm gonna call the cops." So she starts yelling at him and stuff like that, and then she ends up throwing water on him or throwing a drink at him. And then his wife's like, "I'm calling the cops," and she's like, "I'm gonna get my cousins and my brothers to fuck you up." And I thought to myself, like, if there was kids
To
around and stuff,
sing any.
if there was kids around and stuff, I can understand. But sometimes it's good to mind your own business. I thought he was kind of like a nosy guy, nosy fuck. But,
She's just smoking her joint there, and he comes over.
yeah, and he was just like, hey, put that out and stuff and all that.
Did he say like you need to find God?
No, I don't think he said you need to find Jesus, but Jesus looks like a stoner, doesn't he?
I bet he did. You know what they say? He put it here for a reason.
Yeah.
Do people say that?
Yeah, but yeah, we talked about in the first episode, I guess, our relationships with God, which we both really don't have any, and our experiences going to church. I was thinking, there's so many types of religions out there. It's like, how do you know who's right? There's
I know.
so many.
I would say to my mom, so is Catholicism, is that like the correct one? And they're all right. And I would always think, like, so if they're all right, how do you know, like, why did you pick one even?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
yeah. Like, what about Muslims and Buddha and all this other stuff that's Judaism, all this stuff that's going on, and who to listen to and who to follow and stuff, and
If you had to roll the dice, if you had to pick, who do you think is the correct religion? If you had to pick one.
I don't know, man. I don't know too much about. I don't know too much about the other religions, So I don't know. I guess I would pick old Jesus just to
Good old Jesus.
just to stay popular with the kids.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, right? There's like 1,000 Christianity forms of Christianity.
Yeah.
Would you pick a certain one within the world of Christianity?
Yeah, I'm into Christianity. Like, which one? I'm like, the main one. Well, there's two. They're like, there's two main ones. Well, the regular main one. I don't know. Like, I'm just there. Like, leave me alone. I'm just trying to get through the day here.
Yeah, any religion that's not Scientology, I feel like has a step up the
But is
rest.
Scientology actually like is there a God, or is it just like you just believe that there is no God and it's about science?
It's not about science. That's a trick. It's about Xenu, I think. Like if you look into Scientology, it's absolutely insane. Basically, it's like alien worship, I think. And you have to give them thousands and thousands of dollars before you even. It's the world's most successful cult, and they actually bribed the government into becoming classified as a religion.
Do you think that people are listening to this right now like, oh, Jesus, this podcast is boring?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah, so...
I think that it's a great show so far. I think we're doing a great job today.
Yeah, even though we just started, we're just getting cooking here.
Yeah.
Well...
So, yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you? Do you go to church once a year on Christmas, or are you a never a year person?
No. I mean, I told you I did a comedy show in a church years ago. It was a clean comedy show, and that was the first time I was in a church since my grandma died when I was like 5 or 6. So no, I haven't been in a church, and besides that, in like 20 something years. How about you?
I think I went like 2 or 3 years ago. No, maybe even last year. And then I just left like during the mass as the priest was walking up the aisle. I was just like, I can't do this. And I felt bad because my whole family was there, but it's like, I just don't. It wasn't even like I reject this. It was like, I don't want to be around this group of people. There's just too many people here. I don't feel like it. I'm sure if God knows that I don't feel like being here, but I'm not a bad person, then good enough, you know.
Yeah, well, when my grandma died, I remember after the memorial at church, we went to like this room for like a banquet dinner, and I got really like nervous or something, and I got really upset, and I couldn't eat, and it was just all these random people around. So I told my dad I felt sick and I was gonna throw up, and my dad he understood, and he said, "Let's just get out of here." He didn't want to eat either. So we all just left.
Wait, so why did you feel sick?
Because there was just a lot of people around that I didn't know, and
Yeah.
it was like really crowded, and it was just like weird to me and stuff. And plus, I started feeling sick to my stomach. I don't know why. I was so uncomfortable. I just want to get out of here, and my dad was too. He was like, "Let's leave." We left.
Good.
Yeah,
It's good. You got out before you became a victim of a priest.
that's true. Well,
Dude, there's some Catholic people get very offended when you bring up that subject of molestations and stuff. And they say, like, well, rabbis do it too. And it's like, well, why are you pointing your finger over there? Why don't you take some responsibility? That way there's less fingering going on. All right. Why do you think it's altar boys, by the way? Why do
I
you
don't
think
know.
it's
It's so weird how these priests, they abstain from sex, and I guess they're so backed up that they see a little kid, and I don't know what goes through their head. Maybe they think that it's not a sin or something, but how can that not be a sin? I don't know. That's weird.
It's exactly. I mean, it's proof that if somebody can't, I don't even think they're allowed to masturbate. I don't know, but if you don't do something about it, something happens, or people are pedophiles, and then they go into it for that reason. I don't know. This is a great religious podcast we have going here.
Yeah, way to keep it clean here. But it's like it's weird because they tell you that masturbation is a sin until you get married, but masturbation is a very healthy thing, and it calms a lot of people down and leaves a lot of tension. So a lot of these priests, they hold this stuff in so much that they go nuts here, But
no pun intended or pun intended.
That's right. But we're going to wrap this episode up here of Oh Jesus. Any topics, any suggestions, any feedback, please write a review or post it on the YouTube channel. And you can email brian.lemin@gmail.com. And keep...
What's that YouTube channel?
I think this one is on the. I think it's on this. Well, I have 3 channels, so I think it's on the main one, Josh Jack JK. But could be wrong.
Okay.
Let's see. It is on the. Yep, it's on the Josh JK channel. So. All right.
Fantastic.
See you guys for another one.
Christ is the Lord.
Yes. Yes.